Hey everyone, this is John from Models by John Michael. If y'all could go ahead and subscribe to this YouTube channel, that would be great. Be sure to hit that notification bell. Doesn't cost you a dime, I promise. You can also follow me on Facebook and Instagram and check out some of the stuff I've got posted on there. So in this video, I want to talk about the complexity of model kits. This video is actually inspired by the Modeling Insanity podcast. If you haven't checked those guys out, please do. A lot of great info, a lot of things, a lot of insider information. They talk about a lot of, I think, subjects that really matter to model builders. And they're funny. I mean, they've got a lot of great content. I think they have somewhere around 30, maybe 40 episodes out now at this point in time as of January of 2025. So anyway, give them a listen, please. And I'm not sponsored by them or anything like that. I'm just, want to get some of that information out there. And they also have a Facebook page too. So check out their Facebook page. But anyway, back to what I'm talking about as far as what I want to talk about for this video is the complexity of models. Now, every brand of model kit maker has their less complicated models and their more complicated models. And for some, it's easier to tell than others. I know that Revell, they have their, skill level type kits. They have I think it's 1 through 5. Used to be 1 through 3. I don't know why they went to 1 through 5. I think, and honestly, I think that to some degree that the skill level thing for Revell is kind of just a, marketing scheme, so to speak. And I'm not knocking it, but that's just kind of what they do. A couple years ago, I built a Dauntless SBD, and I think they said that was a skill level 2 or 3. I don't really remember. It was a really just kind of a rudimentary kit. So I think it's arbitrary on how a model kit maker decides, what skill level their model kit is. So I've got 4 model kits here that I'm going to talk about, and I'm going to kind of go through one at a time with you guys and kind of show you the differences in models. So I'll start with the least complicated, and I'll go to the more complicated. Now, one thing to note is that price doesn't always necessarily indicate if something is less or more complicated. I have 3 Tamiya kits and 1 Academy kit. The 3, and I'll tell you about the price point, or at least what I remember the price point being, because these are in my stash. They've been in my stash for a long time, and I don't necessarily remember the price point of all of them. But the thing to keep in mind is that, yes, sometimes more does equal more complicated, but not always. And there are some kits, because this video is more or less directed at newer model builders. So if you are new, I'm going to show you a kit, at least 1, maybe 2 kits in here, you probably shouldn't tackle as a new model builder, because you're going to get frustrated. You're going to throw the thing on the shelf, and that's it. And I'll say this. Some model makers, some model manufacturers are better at making kits than others. So my go-to model manufacturer is Tamiya, because their kits are so well engineered. They rotate their molds out enough so that they don't get worn out, and they're not using the same old tired molds for 10, 20, 30 years. And they're engineered the way that they're engineered. The joke out there, one of the jokes I've heard about Tamiya is, if you shake the box enough, the kit will just assemble itself. To a degree, that's true. And I love, love, love Tamiya. And I've been at this hobby for a while now. And if you don't, and the thing is, I don't think you should have to struggle with a kit to get it to fit properly. You should be able to open the kit, get the parts off the sprues, follow the instructions, glue it together, and it goes together with very few frustrations. So, and that's kind of the angle that I want to come at this from. Now, sometimes Tamiya does make kits that don't go together so well. Revell sometimes makes kits that go together very well. Sometimes they make kits that don't go together well at all. Academy, same thing, right? There are many different manufacturers out there. So, but I'm going to run through a few of these kits here. So the least complicated kit that I have in my stash right now, that's an aircraft. And I've done a review on this kit already. So if you want to scroll through the videos, you'll see a review. I did a review on this and the F-14 Tomcat together. So this is currently the most basic, simple kit that I have in my stash. I want to say this retailed for right around maybe 30 bucks, maybe 35 bucks, something like that. If you've never built a model kit before and you don't want to spend a lot of money, this is probably a decent kit to get into. And I'll show you why it's not so complicated. It has a lower, what we call parts count than other kits that are out there. So, I mean, I think this has two sprues, okay? So this is, well, actually three if you count the clear part. So 1, 2, and there's the third one in there. So it's very basic, very easy to go through. Someone like myself, if I sat down and really applied myself, I could probably build this kit in about, a week. Okay, that's how simple this kit is. Now, if you're a newer modeler, it may take you a little bit longer if you just don't have a lot of time, obviously. But that notwithstanding, this kit is very easy. The instructions are incredibly simple. There aren't a whole lot of parts, so the risk of you losing track of a part is minimal compared to what it might be, say, for another kit that I'll show you here in a little bit. But it's very easy to go through this kit and put it together. And even as an advanced modeler, I will enjoy this kit because of the end result that you also get as well, because the detail on this kit is incredible. Even for the price point that it's at, like I said, like right around 30 bucks, I think. I mean, the amount of detail in this kit is just amazing. If you look at just the wing here, I mean, all the paneling and the rivet work and everything else that's on there. I mean, it's great for that. So you wouldn't be disappointed with this kit at all if you grab this kit off the shelf, you took it home, you got the paint and the brushes and the glue and everything else, and you put the kit together. You will definitely enjoy building this particular kit. All right, let's go on to the next one. So this is my next one. This is an Academy kit, so a different manufacturer. This is a 1/48 scale SPD-1. Now this kit I would consider to be intermediate, maybe a little more, obviously a little more advanced than just than the Wildcat that I just showed you. If I can get the box open here, I'll show you what I'm talking about. Why won't this open for me? Bear with me a second here. Yeah, I should have done is open this beforehand. Hold on. Okay, I got the box open. So now this kit, I'll talk about number of sprues. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sprues. So more than double the sprues in the other one. A little more complicated, higher parts count. There are more steps in the instructions. So, and more decals on the sheet. And then this also has what we call photo etch parts. Those are brass, I believe. And you would have to paint those. And you have to glue them in with something like super glue. Elmer's glue will work too, actually, or what we call canopy glue. It's the same thing. you can actually attach it with those too. But so this has you know, a little different take on it. Now you don't have to do these parts if you don't want to. I know plenty of advanced modelers. I'm kind of in that boat myself. I don't always want to mess with these things, but they're there if you really want to. And I believe this also comes with canopy masks. I think that's what this is here. Basically to mask off your clear parts so that when you're painting them, you know, they turn out much better. So, and the detail in this kit is amazing as well. So, and I think, I want to say that this kit retails, I think 40, maybe 45 bucks, somewhere around in that neighborhood. Don't take my word, don't take my quote and price as gospel by any stretch of the imagination. Might be different in your area. I might be off by 5 or 10 bucks. So I'm not sure. But anyway, so here's the instruction manual on here. A little different than the Tamiya ones, but takes you through, shows you pictures of what the actual part looks like when it's assembled. So maybe a little bit better visualization in there. So gives you some options. And that's the other thing too. Sometimes with kits that are a little more advanced, you get more options. So like on an aircraft, wheels up, wheels down, flaps in different positions. You can have the pilot in, pilot out. You can have canopy open, canopy closed. So it just really depends. So you do get a little bit more customization with models that might be a little more advanced than some of the basic kits that are out there. All right, and we'll move on to the next one. Oh, see, this is a really good point. So I want to show you this, and I just noticed this on the side of the box. You see this right here. So it has skill level 4, right? So this is very similar to what Revell does with their kits. So, and actually this one, yeah, so this one's skill level 4, and if you can see the little arrows on there. So they have 1 through 5. So very similar scheme to what Revell has. But yet I would still call this kind of an intermediate type kit. Not the most basic kit, not the most advanced kit, but like anything else, if you take your time, slow down, you know, you can get through this kit in fairly a decent amount of time and still have a good time building it. And Academy makes pretty decent kits too. So, all right, on to the next one, which is this one here. It's the P38 Lightning. It's a Tamiya kit, 1/48 scale. The other two, so all these kits are 1/48 scale. Now you notice the box is a little bigger. That doesn't always mean better, okay? But there are a lot more parts to this kit, a lot more sprues. So sprue count: 1, 2, 3, 4. Try and keep these from falling off the table. 5, 6, 7. There's 2 in here. 8, 9, and then you have in here, you have your decals, and then you have some canopy masks in there as well. Now this kit is a little different from some of the other ones, or from the other 2 that I've showed you. So the interesting thing, and I think the really cool thing about this kit, is you get some posters with it, essentially, that show you things like decal locations. And I will open one of these up. I'll just show you if I can get it open. Here we go. So here you go, full color illustration. And same thing, and each side has something different on it. So you have, again, like I talked about the options, right? So you have more options with this kit in terms of paint scheme, decals, all that kind of stuff. So something else to keep in mind with more advanced kits, you get more options generally. And then you have your instruction manual. This is the largest of the 3 that I've showed you so far, and I've got 1 more to go, has the largest instruction manual in here. And there are a lot more parts. And you can see in each illustration, there's a lot going on. So there's a lot more to keep track of or lose track of, depending on how you look at it. So there are a lot more steps to building this aircraft, you know, so that kind of, in my mind, goes without saying. Is that a bad thing or a good thing? I mean, it depends on your point of view and how advanced of a model builder you are. This is a kit that I would not recommend to a new model builder because I think it's something you have to ease your way into and learn the ropes, so to speak, on lower part count model kits. So I'll put this one back in the box now. Oh, and I'll just show you. Let me see if I can find. I mean, there's, you know, I just want to show you some of the detail that is on these kits. I mean, and if you look, I don't know if you can see with the clear of the plastic, but some incredible detailing on this kit. I'm a fan. I'm just such a fan of, you can call me a fanboy of Tamiya if you want to, but I just love their stuff because it's just so incredibly well engineered, and you don't feel like you have to fight with the kit to get it to go together for you. Because when you fight a kit, and this is the thing. Let me get this. Because if you have to fight a kit to get it back together, you get frustrated, you throw it on the shelf. That's when you tend to break apart or something like that. So kits that go together well, I think, really speak for themselves in terms of, you know, being friendly to the model builder. You know, even as an advanced modeler, I get frustrated with kits. I have a couple of kits that are sitting on my shelf right now. We call them shelf queens, that I haven't touched in 2 years, 3 years, sometimes longer, that I'm probably never going to touch again. At some point, I'll probably just end up throwing them away when I get tired of looking at them. So just something to be aware of. And if you're brand new and you've never really built a model before, maybe you have very limited exposure to model building, I would not want you to go down that road to where you get frustrated with something and you're like, you know what, this hobby sucks. I'm never going to touch a model kit again in my life. So that's why I'm kind of running through all of this stuff. So now the final one is this thing right here, and I've done. So this is the F-14 Tomcat 1/48 scale kit. Oh, the P-38, before I forget. This one here. I think this retails $60, something like that. Maybe 55, 50. I'd say between 50 and $60. This kit, okay, retails for about 104, 110, something like that. So much more expensive, much higher part count, much more complicated. I would never recommend this kit to somebody unless they truly know what they're doing. Tamiya specifically markets this to guys like me who want to build something like this. There are other F-14 Tomcat kits out there that are far more basic, and you know, if you're a lower skill level or less advanced modeler, you know, you would have just as good a time as building it. But this thing is like for total model geeks like myself. That, I mean, the part count on this thing is ridiculous. And I'll go ahead and I'll show you. Get some of this stuff out of the way. So sprue count: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, there's actually 2 in here, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. There's 15 sprues in this monster. That's a lot. Even for myself, that is a lot. And, you know, when you build model kits too, here's the other thing. A lot of times the instructions will have you skipping around from sprue to sprue. So it'll say like sprue A part 32, sprue B part 19, sprue C part 12, right? So it'll have you skipping around, and you're grabbing different sprues, and you're cutting them off of the sprues and putting them together. So that's the other thing with this. So if you have, say, 2 sprues, 3 sprues, 4 sprues, whatever, it's a little easier to keep track of what's going on with your kit. I will say this, Bandai, okay, I know they're primarily, they do like they do the Gundams, they do Star Wars, I think they do some other series with their kits. Bandai does a fantastic job with their kits as far as who they're marketing it to. So like they have different grades of kits, like they have like master grade, high grade, low grade, medium grade, whatever. I mean, I'm not exactly sure how all that system works, but if you go to a hobby store or you call an online hobby store and you're looking for a specific kit, say from Gundam, they can lead you in the right direction. My son has built several of these kits, all from, you know, the most basic kit all the way up to, I mean, he's got ones that are, you know, this tall, and he's got ones that are this tall. So it's just, you know, and the bigger ones are usually the more complicated ones. Because like you build the skeleton and then you put on the armor and, you know, all the other stuff. So, but Tamiya does a really nice job, or not Tamiya, sorry, Bandai does a really nice job with that department as far as the complexity of a kit and who they're marketing it to. So, so that's just kind of a little aside. So this kit, again, like the P38 that I just showed you, comes with posters. And they're full color, gives you the layout of all the decals, paint color on the aircraft, because some of them are slightly different from others, depending on which one you're doing. So it's really great for all of that kind of stuff. And it gives you a really nice visualization of what it looks like. And here's another really neat thing. This actually comes with it's just paper, cardboard, whatever, but it's the deck of an aircraft carrier that you can set your finished model onto. So you can display it with this neat little background. So, and then of course, here's all the decals. And then you have your canopy masks in here. Canopy masks are really nice when they're already pre-cut for you, because it saves you in the taping department having to tape. Because when you paint a canopy on something, you want to have it masked off properly, so this way you're not your paint isn't bleeding onto the clear parts. Because when that happens, I mean, it will be painfully obvious as to what happened. So this saves you the headache of trying to figure that out. Here's the instruction manual. Let me get this off here. There we go. So there are 23 pages in this thing. And I'll just open up to a random page here if I can get it open. There's a lot going on here, as you can see. So you, as a, you know, if you're a entry-level model builder, I would never in a million years recommend this kit to you, because you would open the kit, for one, with all the parts and be lost. you would open up the instruction manual and be lost. There's a lot of parts. This is going to be a challenge for me to do, no question about it. So, and again, I'll just show you the detail on this kit is just astounding. I mean, I'm always amazed at Tamiya at how well made their kits are. Now, I'm not saying you have to get a Tamiya kit. I've built some Revell kits that actually were a lot of fun. They turned out very well and didn't give me a whole lot of headaches. So, to wrap this up, if you're a beginner modeler, go for the kits that will be easier for you to build, lower sprue count, and you can talk to somebody in a hobby shop. Like, so if there's a local hobby shop close to you, I'm not talking like Hobby Lobby or Michael's or something like that. I'm talking like an actual model kit, like a store that actually specializes in selling model kits or other types of hobbies. You can talk to somebody there and they can help you out, recommend stuff to you. And it also helps to do your homework too. So there are different websites out there that you can go to. What is it? One of them's, I forget, Scale Modeler, I think is the name of the website. And you can go on there and it'll have kit reviews. You can look at stuff on there. You can figure out who made it, parts count, all that kind of stuff. Really handy resource for you. The other thing you do is find some model building groups on Facebook and get on there and ask them a question. There's a beginner modeler Facebook group on there. I think I'm part of that as well. That you can go on there and you can ask questions. I mean, there's no such thing as a dumb question as far as I'm concerned. The only dumb question is the one that you don't ask. So if you have any questions, and below in the comment section on this video, if you have any questions, please put them down in the comments. I'm very active on my page or on my channel because I check it multiple times a day. I get the alerts. So if you have a question, please ask me. I'm more than happy to try and help you out. So anyway, guys, that's all I got in this video. Hopefully you're still with me and I haven't bored you to death. So, but if I haven't, I appreciate you. Thanks for watching. I truly, truly do appreciate every last one of you from the bottom of my heart. So with that, I will sign off and I'll just say to you, happy modeling.